So my name is Toni Harris Taylor. I am the CEO and founder of Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching, where I help service-based entrepreneurs to get known, get connected, and get paid. I'm also a multi-unit, award-winning franchise owner for Network in Action Global Partners, where I bring business owners together to help them to build relationships, grow their business, grow their network, have communities, and build relationships that last a lifetime. As you heard in the name of my business, drastic is my word. I adopted that word in around 2012 when I was speaking and someone asked me the title of my talk. And what I was speaking about was about taking drastic steps in my life to have gastric bypass surgery. And so when I started reflecting on my life, there's a lot of drastic steps in there. And what I teach my clients when it comes to marketing, what I've learned for sure is that my clients love what they do. They just don't love to market it or sell it. So they have to get a drastic mindset about getting themselves out there. So my word in everything is drastic. I have a lot of stories, as you just heard in that snippet. Gastric bypass, that's drastic. I am a 2-time widow and a 10-day coma survivor. So yeah, the word drastic permeates everything. But the one story that sticks out to me today is when I was this close to leaving my coaching business. Now, I was a successful coach, making 6 figures. My clients were doing really well. I'm an international speaker, author, international coach, doing the things on the outside. But I was struggling to figure out what my future looked like. And so I wanted to have a scalable business that could run without me and a saleable business so that when I retired, and I couldn't figure out how to make drastic results fit that. And so I was approached to purchase a franchise. Now, I had just told my friend who's a coach the week before that there was no way I was starting a networking group. And a week later, someone that I met followed up with me and reminded me that that opportunity was on the table. And I took the drastic step, purchased the franchise, and haven't looked back. And I will tell you, 6 months after I purchased the franchise, COVID happened. And it was an in-person brand, networking brand. And I had to transition everyone to virtual, which was drastic for them. I was already a virtual networker, but it was drastic for them. But they all transitioned, and I not only helped these entrepreneurs to survive, but thrive during COVID and beyond. Yeah, what I have learned from my franchise experience is that we don't have to start from scratch. So in my story, you heard me say that I told my coaching friend that I could not possibly start a networking organization because I didn't have technology. I didn't know what to charge. I'd seen too many people do networking groups and not make any money. And I didn't want to start from scratch. The reason I was looking for a job was to get a retirement plan because I was in my 50s and I knew that if I needed retirement, I needed to do it then. So starting from scratch was out of the question. So what I learned is that franchising is a great option. After being an entrepreneur for over 25 years, no one had ever approached me about franchise. And when I thought about franchising, it was hamburgers, chicken, and storefronts. Certainly not home-based in my passion. So I want to say to other entrepreneurs that if they're starting from scratch, they may be able to find a system that works for them. But then the other thing I figured is that most franchises need networking to grow. And so I am here to help franchisors bring me to speak to inspire their franchisees to get drastic about growing their business with networking. 3 tips for entrepreneurs who struggle with networking. So my saying, my phrase my quote, right? We always think about quotes. We think about people who've come and gone, but you can create your own quotes. So my quote is show up, be up, follow up to blow up. Nice. So those 3 tips, show up. So in my story, I mentioned that there was a lady that followed up with me from Network in Action. Well, it was because I had showed up to an event that was 5 hours from my home. I registered on the last day and showed up. It was a small, intimate event, and this is where I met the lady who brought Network in Action into my life. At that time, I was contemplating getting a job and interviewing. And so I showed up even though I was unsure of where my future was. And that show up at a time that I needed drastic action changed my life, and now I get the privilege of helping change others. Be up is even when life is hard and you're showing up, don't let it be written all over your face. And be up, have good energy. The number one thing people say to me is, I love your energy. Do you think my life's perfect? Absolutely not. But I know that when I show up, I can feed somebody else, which puts my stuff in the background. So be up, be prepared, know who's in charge, connect with people, and then follow up. Listen, you might as well not show up if you're not going to follow up. So the fortune is won and lost in follow up. And I encourage entrepreneurs to not only follow up. In fact, I hate follow up too. So let me be clear. So my system that I teach is I teach my clients how to get people on their calendar on the spot. Don't wait to say, I'm going to call you and we're going to have coffee. No, you book it on the spot. And when you do that, then it takes the follow up out. And one more tip. I know you asked for 3, but I'm going to give you one more. And that is go with a friend. Have a networking buddy, and you ask that buddy who you're looking for. This is who I'm looking for, and you network for your friend, and it takes all the strain or angst or mental off of you, because I'm just looking for people for my friend. I'm going to say I would like meeting planners to know that I'm not a good speaker. I'm an amazing speaker. Okay. My energy is infectious. My message is unique, being drastic. Nobody else is talking about that. Everybody's saying, take baby steps. Yes, sometimes the baby steps are drastic steps, right? But I'm here if you want real change for your audience, you have to bring me in because I'm going to get them to have a drastic mindset. When I first launched Network in Action, I met a young lady named Mia. I call her Mini Mia now. She's like a little sister to me. We met at the worst networking event ever. It was at a country western bar. Now, I love country music, especially Luke Bryan. Hey, Luke. So I love country music, but this particular event was extremely loud. So I see her across the crowded room, tap her on the shoulder, connect with her. She's a life insurance agent. And she tells me how uncomfortable she is in this room as well. Now, I teach networking, and I was uncomfortable in the room. Anyway, we booked a date. What I just said, do it on the spot. We booked a date, and I invited her to join Network in Action. She said, I can't afford it. No worries. So we kept communicating, talking, and she came back to me and said, you know what? My spirit says I need to be with you. I'm going to join. And she did. 2 months later, she disappeared from our meeting. Well, where did Mia go? Well, Mia went home, found out that her lights got cut off. And I just sensed Mia needed some drastic action. So I said, "What's going on? You're not making money. Your lights are getting cut off." She told me about her company. And I said, "You know what? I know somebody." I connected her to a new company, and Mia became the top insurance person in the nation 2 years in a row. Mia was working in her hot Houston garage, and now she sits on the 18th floor of a high rise. And today, Mia is traveling with fellow NIA members because she met them at NIA, and now they're like brothers to her, and they are traveling to a conference together. That's the power of networking and showing up and playing full out. It becomes like family. You know, as entrepreneurs, we don't have coworkers. So we need that synergy of families. And now I'm growing NIA globally by bringing on leaders who want to help entrepreneurs to build relationships. And those leaders, they're paid leaders, so it's not volunteer. And those leaders are now building new groups, which is solving for the original problem that I said at the beginning. I now have a scalable, saleable asset. And I'm just grateful. Hashtag grateful. You can contact me at meetwithtoni with an I, harristaylor.com. All my social is there, my number is there, my booking is there. Meetwithtoniharristaylor.com.